Well, we're back, and we can actually be happy that both our teams won this week.
Wow. If we want to call that a victory, it's a hollow victory.
Yeah, but at least you came back and won that game because that was depressing in the first half.
It was depressing the entire game.
That's true.
All right. So, I think we should probably start off with Notre Dame since they're actually in playoff conversations. Look at the college football. Look at the rankings real quick. So we know Oklahoma lost.
I
We
think
know.
that's the only big time team that was still in the conversation that lost.
Yeah, Oklahoma lost. Cincinnati, I believe, has moved back up to 2.
No, since he's 5. Or, yeah, 5. Are you
Oh
looking
yeah,
at the AP?
I'm looking at the wrong list. Yeah. Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State. Yes. So, unfortunately for Notre Dame, the 2 teams that are out right now are Cincinnati and Michigan State. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of factors that would have to go into it for us to get even close to getting in. And if we get in, we have to play Georgia of all people. So this year, I'd be fine with the consolation prize in the bowl with the 5 and the 6. Maybe a rematch against Cincinnati because they don't like Power 5 don't like not Power 5 G5.
Yeah.
I want to beat them again. We have a better team now. I want to beat Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And Kyle Hamilton, even though he's still down, should be healthy by bowl season, which will be nice because we are really missing him right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they look good against Virginia. They completely stomped them without Brennan Armstrong, and it really showed. But, I mean, there's a lot of things to come away happy from that game, like the freshman Ramon Henderson moving to safety from corner, someone who Brian Kelly has said a lot of good things about. He's played very well. Could be another Sean Crawford as a safety corner hybrid. And Marcus Freeman stepped up as a coordinator. I'm proud of it. It's nice to see. And I'm glad to see we're doing better than we were earlier in the season.
Well, only some teams can be so lucky.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about how Florida did?
So, Florida played a little team called the Samford Bulldogs. Now, they're an FCS school. Not that big of a deal. We won 70-52. And they scored 21 points. I don't actually know. I believe it was 28 points in the first quarter. Not us, Samford. We were behind 42-35 at halftime. No, I get it. We fired our defensive coordinator. So, of course, defense is going to be a little bit bad. But the interim DC was the one guy left on the roster that was a Grantham underling and the worst defensive position you could have you could have given the job to. And I'm talking about our linebackers coach. Now, at the beginning of the offseason, at the beginning of the season, I even said, or there was like a report that we brought him back or something. And I was like, this is stupid. This is the worst idea ever. Because our linebackers just suck. I don't know what it is with me picking teams that have shitty linebackers when linebacker is my favorite position. Maybe that's just why I'm so angry. But yeah, and then you got Dan Mullen. Good old Dan Mullen. Yes, we had 70 points. Yes, Emory Jones broke the record, all that. And yes, all that stuff. The offense looked good. This man even said on national TV in his post-game conference, when asked were there any adjustments made, he said nope. I don't know what it is with Florida coaches in their fourth year, because we lost McElwain was when we went 4-8. This is Mullen's fourth year, and I really don't know if he's gonna stay. It's come to the point where I've even made a notepad of my dream of just dream everything, and I've got it up here. I don't have it completely filled, but because actually I need to remember the O-line coach, because we need to still get an O-line coach. And quite frankly, the O-line coach that I want, and I know a couple of people, if they are in said chat, the Penn State O-line coach, Phil Trotwin, he went to Florida, I believe. He either went or played for Florida. Either way, he was related to Florida. I'm trying to bring that man home. I'm like, listen, Penn State's O-line looks good. You used to play at Florida. It's a lot warmer here. Come back home. Come back home. But I don't know. For head coach, if we have to get a replacement, and you'll notice there's a lot of guys that I'm going to say bring back to Florida. I'm bringing back Bob Stoops. Now, Jordan, pop quiz, hot shot. Who's Bob Stoops? Do you think you can tell me?
No, I don't think I can fully tell you why.
So this part you won't know him as, but from 1993 to 96, which is when Florida won their first national championship in 96, he was our defensive coordinator. But after then, he was Oklahoma's head coach, I believe, until Lincoln Riley replaced him. So from I believe it was from 97 to 2016, he was Oklahoma's head coach, and he is a defensive mastermind. From 1999 to 2017, he was Oklahoma's head coach. And you're going to notice with a lot of stuff, again, bringing somebody back from Florida or to Florida for defensive coordinator, you got to go with Charlie Strong, who is currently the assistant coach and the linebackers coach to Urban Meyer up in Jacksonville. I mean, you got to go back. You got to bring him back because he's a hell of a recruiter, which was, I'm pretty sure, the key word in last week's episode.
Yeah, it definitely was, because you can definitely tell Florida only recruits in the off season.
Which is so stupid. And then for linebackers coach, which I don't know if you'll know this, because not a lot of people will remember this. Maybe Slay might know this. Slay. Let me know if the name Kevin Steele rings a bell. I want to see if he remembers Kevin Steele.
Slay might.
He might, because depending how well he knows Auburn football.
I was gonna say he was an Auburn guy.
He's been around a lot, but it's not because he's bad. It's because he's been around a lot. This guy is.
That's college. You can have coaches that jump around not because they're bad, just because they still jump around.
Oh, exactly. But he's been mainly. He's mainly been a defensive guy, and he played linebacker for. Actually, I don't remember. Baylor. He played linebacker for Baylor, and he was defensive coordinator for a lot of. I have it up here. He was. Starting in 2007, he was defensive coordinator. Then 2014, bumped down to linebacker. 2015, defensive coordinator / linebacker. And then from 2016 to 2020, he was Auburn's defensive coordinator. And then Gus Malzahn got fired. And the new guy didn't retain him. Gus Malzahn got fired. He then became the head coach for a little bit, which, whatever. And And then 2021, he was Tennessee's interim head coach, and then hasn't played since. But the fact he has had a lot of really good defenses, hell of a recruiter, and currently, right now, he's just chilling. Majority of these guys, like Bob Stoops, is chilling. I think he's an analysis right now. I think he's a Fox analysis right now. And Kevin Steele's just chilling. So these are guys that, while they are good, one may not even want to come out of retirement. But also two, not a lot of people are going to be chasing after these guys. A lot of people really don't know or don't remember who Kevin Steele is. I don't think a lot of people have even thought about Bob Stoops. I know everybody's thought about Charlie Strong though, but I'm trying to bring back a lot of defensive guys here. I'm trying to make this a very defensive heavy team because you look at Georgia with their elite defense. Their offense is meh.
Yeah, but they still have a weakness in their defense, and that's the deep ball.
Yes, but you also look at that defense. That is the main reason why they have been so dominant over the past years.
That's true, but this year they've really had to step up through their developing and recruiting. And the problem is that going to stay stable because it's Georgia? They've had a lot of ups and downs in their recruiting.
Yes, because there is always the joke saying, what's its face? They've turned 5 stars into like 2 stars or whatever, which is somewhat true. But I mean, they still get so many recruits, and this isn't even me being biased. This is me saying, and the state of Florida itself is like, those are the best recruits. That is where like the most recruits come out. And you look at Charlie Strong, who as a defensive coordinator, not even Charlie Strong, you got to look at these people and just their recruiting ability. Because if you get in-state rivals, and that's also something Charlie Strong was really good at, getting in-state recruits, and with, again, Florida being the number 1 state of prospects, you gotta get those guys. You just gotta get those guys.
Yeah, that's a big thing for any school, is you got to get your in-state. And it's not like you're an independent where you don't really have a region and you can just kind of go anywhere with your recruiting. A lot of conference teams stick to their section. Like, take an ACC school. They're going to recruit from mostly the Midwest, like your New York, Pennsylvania, those areas. SEC, Florida, Georgia, that area. You're going to stick to your area. And that's something you've got to do, especially as an SEC team, because there's going to be a lot of competition. And with schools like Florida and Georgia, they're schools that can pull those guys in. It's just you got to have the right people in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And Florida's a strong state for recruiting. Florida, Texas, California, those 3 are some of, if not the best states to recruit from. It's not like a New York or a Pennsylvania where it's a bigger, but you're not getting that much football talent. You're getting tons.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just I don't know. I do not know for an OC though if this staff comes true, because this is just my dream staff and a pipe dream, and I don't know if you go, listen, Dan, we're gonna bring this guy in, but we would like you to still. I don't know if you can basically convince Dan to be, listen, we just want you to be the offensive coordinator.
I was going to say, if you convince Dan to be your coordinator,
if you can convince Dan to be the OC, then I don't see a problem with that, especially if Bob Stoops is your head coach. Because you've got you've got so much defensive talent, and then you can bring in and Dan Mullen. Granted, this year it's kind of been meh, but Dan Mullen's pretty good offense. He's got a good offensive mind. But his problem is he stays too attached to certain things. There needs to be a different head coach to just be like, no, we're changing QBs, or it needs to be, I don't know, it needs to be something like that.
Yeah.
But it needs to be like while defense is on, you've got Bob Stoops, all these defensive masterminds coaching, and then you got Dan who can just walk away, talk to the offense. Same thing when the offense is on. You got Bob Stoops who can step back, let Dan do Dan, since he's been an OC before and he's been the head coach. Let Dan do Dan, coach the offense, and then go talk to his guys. And if Bob Stoops needs to make a decision, he can make that decision by letting he can make that decision by letting Charlie Strong talk to the defense.
Yeah, and
you just got to bring in better. If Mullen's OC, you got to bring in better guys though on that offense.
And Mullen's he's a good offensive guy. The problem is he's not a great recruiter. You've got to bring in people that will recruit, because that's the big thing. It's not like the NFL where you've got a little bit of the draft and a little bit of free agency. Recruiting is the only way you're going to get your talent, unless you get lucky with walk-ons, and that doesn't really happen. So
I will say Mullen's good with the transfer portal.
Yeah,
he's very good with the transfer.
The transfer portal can only help you so much. I mean, look at Florida State. They're good with how many transfers they pull every year, especially last year, but they're not a top team. They're not even a top team in the ACC, which shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, and the thing with Dan is he's not the best recruiter. He's an okay recruiter. So I think if you keep him as the OC, one, you'll still have the recruitments for this year, and he'll still be able to bring on that offensive talent. I think you got to have a head coach who's a better recruiter than you to start bringing in talents. Because I think it's more or less the defensive recruits that were lacking. And that could just be because they saw that Grantham sucked. So I think by bringing in, or I think keeping Mullen and changing him to the OC, that's good for your offensive recruits. And then you bring in a defensive head coach. You bring in all these guys that I just mentioned. And then that'll get you your defensive recruits. And then you'll be back to being good. You'll be back to back. Because yes, this is a down. I mean, it's a down year. There's no coming back from saying it. It's been a down year. It's been bad. There's already been people fired and many more people that still need to be fired. The question is, who's joining that list, or who can salvage their jobs?
Yeah, and let me say one quick what's up to the chat. What's up, guys? BLSG, Big Play Slay, and Vic3, the one who came up with the name for the Holy Gator.
Right.
Again, thanks for coming up with that, because I never would have thought of that.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I feel like we'd still probably be trying to figure out a name for this.
Yeah. But hey, at least now we have that, and maybe we'll have a mascot by next time, which will be our
Vic, how much do we need to pay you to get you in a Gator costume wearing the Pope's hat and carrying the Pope's scepter and the Pope orb? How much do we need to pay you?
Yes. That
asking
would
for
be
a friend here.
Awesome. Yeah, he's asking for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about some other college football? Because there's been some weird stuff this week too.
Yeah, there's been a lot of weird what's his face? Been a lot of weird college games. Kansas had, what was that one game with Kansas, and what was the other school? The 57-56 yarder? Or hold up. I don't know. Carry on while I try to figure this thing out.
Yeah, so I will say there was one play this week that really caught my eye, and that was in the South Dakota State game. There was a second left in the fourth quarter. It was a close game. South Dakota State had just thrown an incompletion on fourth down, and then South Dakota gets the ball. Now, you do what any normal coach would do and call a Hail Mary because they were 50 yards out, I want to say, around there.
Mm-hmm.
They deep ball the ball. It gets tipped twice by South Dakota State defenders and caught by a South Dakota receiver to win the game. Craziest thing this week. Not all year, but this week.
Yeah.
Look at what Vic said.
I'll do it for free. Let's go. We'll even write you a little song and dance too.
I don't know if it'll go that far.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna keep pushing the limit, see how far we can go. See where the line is.
You find that game yet?
No, I did not, but I think that was the game that you were talking about.
Yeah, but
Or I think we were talking about the same game. I just couldn't remember the teams.
yeah, it's a weird week. There's a couple upsets here and there. Syracuse got stomped in Louisville, which
Purdue let me down.
Yeah, Purdue let both of us down.
Purdue let a lot of people down.
Oh, he already DM'd you a Holy Gator, apparently.
Yeah, in the group chat.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then it just went. It went from that to me in a hot dog costume, and then Hal Berry. It went to Hal Berry, which I mean, everything should go to Hal Berry. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "How did we go from that to that?"
I don't know. It just.
I thought about that for like 3 days. I'm like, should I do it as a joke? I don't know, because I'm the one that dropped the hot dog costume thing.
Yeah, it's just. I'm trying to see if I can find that Holy Gator again. I gotta scroll up quite a way. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people describe this as the, what was it? I think 2013 football season. It was either 2013 or 2007 football season. But yeah, it's been weird. It's been a weird football season.
It seems a lot like 2007 with all the upsets, because I think that was the year that UCF came out and destroyed everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It was 2007.
Yeah, because that was the first of like twice that they did that in a decade.
Yeah.
And then they just went back to irrelevancy.
Yeah, hey, it's been a weird football season.
Yeah, Bama didn't blow out New Mexico State like they should have. It was like 49.5. They slowed down in the second half. I was like, that doesn't happen if you're Alabama.
No, I've seen Alabama definitely take it slower in the second half.
True.
Because they're already up like 30 points by the end of the half, so.
Then there was that Pitt game that went to overtime.
Pitt. I thought you said Pitt game. I was like, wait, we got a pick.
Yeah, for a while it was Pitt was up, and then UNC just decided to show up apparently and tied the game at 23-all.
Yeah, Auburn did their best impersonation of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I wonder what Big Play Slay would say right now.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was hoping my mother wasn't about to flip her shit.
And then Baylor upset Oklahoma. Oklahoma scored 7 points in like 3 quarters, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then UConn returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and one of the blockers gave the returner a high five. That was one of the first plays of the game. Clemson went on to score 44. I was like, well, that lasted long.
Yeah. Well, what was funny was Dabo Sweeney said it himself. He was like, if we lose to UConn, Clemson's going to have a new coach.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping they would have, because that brings a new coach to Clemson. Then he can go to USC, because I'd love to see Dabo get stomped at USC.
Wow, so rude.
Hey, I love watching USC lose. I don't know what it is. Almost as great as watching Michigan lose.
The Queen, what?
I don't know about that either. I saw that and I was like, I don't
Vic,
know.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate. What
I
about
don't
the
know if I'm
Queen?
missing something or what.
Am I what?
And then a lot of the games were blowouts this week in college football.
Yeah.
Army had a game against Bucknell. They put up 63 points. I said, Army is this the same triple option Army that plays every week? But they're getting good.
Yeah. I will say what is very interesting about the 4 military schools. It's always just it's running with them. There's not
They all run.
there's not a lot of
option.
passing. It's just every game they always run.
They all pass about 3 times a game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
I always find that funny.
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Okay, but Vic, what do you mean the Queen? Are we talking?
Yeah, I'm confused.
I need answers, damn it.
And then I was also disappointed that Boston College actually beat Georgia Tech. I wanted Georgia Tech to win just because we play them next week, and I wanted to knock a team down. I don't know. And then Florida State had a very close one against Miami. And Miami was all talking about, oh, yeah, we want to beat Florida State. That's our only goal. Well, you didn't. And now I think they're regretting saying anything.
Right. Ugh.
Yeah, what's TC?
Oh, Hal Berry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're good now. Understandable. Carry on.
No, Oklahoma State did beat TCU. You're right.
I was just like, what are you talking about the Queen?
And then USC California got postponed because Cal had COVID spring up for the first time this year. Something happened in the game where it was canceled. That's surprising. It is the first time this year, and I'm surprising that they actually got there to do it. So, well, at least it wasn't earlier, and at least it wasn't a big matchup, because if it was, it would be way crazier.
James Franklin needs to be fired. So, yeah, Vic, now that you're here, you want to talk about that Michigan Penn State game? I'm surprised. I honestly figured I was gonna see so many notifications of you guys going live for that. I thought AK was gonna go live for that. I thought you were gonna go live for that. I thought so many people were gonna go live.
I was watching that game because I live with a Michigan fan, and the back and forth of just yays to oh no's was just back and forth. I was like, can we? And it was so loud. I was just like, can I watch the game, please?
Please. Just let me watch the game.
I haven't watched a football game in peace for a while. It's either between
I don't think football and peace go together.
Yeah, it's either me yelling at the TV because of Notre Dame or somebody else yelling out at it because of their team. Oh yeah, Vic's angry. I would be too if my team lost because their defense collapsed at the worst time. I mean, you let their tight end go 30 yards down the field? That was the mistake. You can't have your defense slip up that late in the game because it was close. The defense was very bend don't break for most of the game, and when they didn't, it was usually because of a mistake here and there. Then the defense just falls apart for that one drive, and that's what costed them. And then the offense, I mean, Clifford was banged up all game, though. Clifford was banged up for that whole thing. At one point, he limped off the field a little bit.
Yeah. It was definitely fun. It was fun.
It was a good game.
It was definitely a good game. I don't know. I think Penn State has lost their running back touch after Barkley and Sanders.
I do too.
And just like, we don't have any more running backs. That was it. We're done.
Yeah. And they're lucky that Corum didn't play this week, and because he's done for the remainder of the season, from what I'm hearing. Although I don't know if it's truly going to be for the season, because I know somebody who's kind of got an inside look on it, and they're just saying it's a grade 1 and he should be fine. But now I'm hearing, oh, he's going to be out for the rest of the regular season. But they're lucky he didn't play because he would have torn them up. Because Haskins, he's a good back, but he's a power back. They were running him up the middle constantly for 2-3 yards. He was never. He was used like he usually is, but they just didn't have the guy who they can bounce outside or toss the ball to. And that really hurt Michigan. Penn State really didn't take advantage of that. That, and they kept holding so much on offense because they couldn't stop Hutchinson.
Yes. Sorry, I burped, and all of a sudden, my nose hairs were on fire.
That's the good thing, though, is Hutchinson's coming up in the draft, and I want to get him because the dude's a very good talent, and we need somebody that can...
Oh, the edge, yeah.
Yeah, we need somebody that can be a new guy, because Brandon Graham is, whether we want to face it or not, his time could be coming to an end soon.
Yeah.
And what better than to get a Michigan guy to replace him? And Hutchinson can jump from D tackle to D end to D tackle. He's done it all season. That might be the first
time I think you've said that about a Michigan player.
I will never say anything good again. This is the only time I'll say something good about a Michigan player.
Clip it.
Ever. Somebody will. I know it. Because every time I say anything good, it'll end up somewhere, and everybody remembers.
Mitch is lurking in the chat going, finally.
He probably is. That or Slay's going to clip it just to use it against me because of how much I joke about his Lakers. Then again, at least he has admitted that they are a retirement home. But I tweeted him yesterday.
He's got no leverage over anybody, let's be real.
I tweeted him yesterday about what AD said, that they're not a championship team right now, and he still won't back down on his word. So all I'm going to say is that he won't back down, and he should.
Oh, he's been at the swamp during the fourth quarter listening to that Tom Petty. He ain't backing down.
He's like Florida at the end of that game. They weren't backing down, and they eventually pulled ahead.
I would just like to say, in basketball, which we will get to basketball shortly, in basketball, the score was Florida 71, Florida State 55. In football, the score was Florida 72, Florida 70, Samford 52. I don't understand. I don't understand how you got two basketball scores.
I was going to say they pulled in a basketball score in football.
Like
I would expect that if it was like the Chiefs and the Bills, but not like a college game. I mean, that's like if you put Bama on both, or if you played Bama against Bama and said, have fun.
That was like the that was the 2018 Chiefs Rams.
Yeah.
Where it went it was like 50 to
it
was 50 something to 50 something. It was like it just.
And the funny thing is, usually college football games, if somebody drops at least 50, the other guy usually isn't dropping 50 or even 40. Usually it's Bama dunking on an FCS school because, they need to do that 4 times a year.
Yeah, it was bad. I don't know how it's going to be against Missouri and Florida State. I'm just going to go back to being a Florida fan in the 80s. As long as we beat FSU. I just want to beat FSU.
You're going to fall into that hole of just as long as we beat our rivals, I don't care.
Missouri's our rival. I just need to get the season over with. There's too many questions, not enough answers, and we need answers.
Who you guys got in your upcoming recruiting class? Anything big?
Crashed. Hello.
I think you froze for a sec. You're good.
I got
now.
swirly. Yeah, I was like, oh.
Did you hear what I said?
Well, the two, or we've had 2 decommits, but we've got the number one wide receiver in this class, Evan Stewart, he's
Oh, I think I lost you again. I don't know. Is it me? Hold on. No, I think I'm good. Um, I don't know if the stream's still going. Uh, yeah, it's going. So I think Sora's having technical difficulties, but hopefully those get sorted out. I was having technical difficulties. Yep, there he goes. I was having technical difficulties earlier, so we both had problems today. Apparently, it's not our day, but well, at least the stream's still going because I couldn't even get in here earlier. But while we wait for him to get back, I may as well just take a quick look through Florida's commits this year for football, and they've really got the 9th SEC class and 23 class in the nation right now. But while we wait for him to do a little computer fix and he tries to get back in here, well, I would cover a little basketball, but we were going to cover that. So I'll just cut back to Notre Dame quick. So watching that game this weekend without Avery Davis, without one of 5 scholarship receivers or 6, and Avery Davis, you're down to 5. Jalen Thomas played a lot with the scout team. We didn't see him last week, so we were down to 4. 3 of them were freshmen. Coltsy, Styles, and then 2 were freshmen. Coltsy and Styles. Then you had senior Kevin Austin, and I think Lindsey's a 4th year. But you were down to 4 receivers. There was a lot more of Tyree, Diggs. You had a lot more of the running backs at the receiver. Mayer played out in the slot. Didn't really target any other tight ends, but you had other tight ends come on the field a little bit for blocking, although we don't have a Tommy Tremble this year, which it sucks because I wish we had like a Tommy Tremble kind of player, because if we did, that'd be great because he was a ferocious blocker. But nothing to dwell on right now, even though he's having a good time in the NFL, and it was back and forth here and there with the receiving core. Cohen was comfortable in the pocket, then he had some moments, then he got back in, then he got comfortable again. Buckner didn't touch much field. Like I said earlier, Ramon Henderson went to safety from corner, played outstanding, got a pick. Thankfully, it wasn't overturned. I thought it could have been. And the defense was holding up this week. The defense looked very good. Special teams looked great as always with Jonathan Dewar and Jay Bramblett as your punter and kicker. They've been doing great so far. I'm so glad we've got these guys. I'm glad Dewar stayed for another year. Oh, hey, sorry. Yeah. Spectre. I know. I've got Spectrum too. And I was lagging out earlier, but don't worry. Take your time, dude. As long as you can figure them out, just take your time. Don't worry. I'll hold it down until you get back in. But yeah, this team operated a lot better than last week without Kyle Hamilton. Holmes' pinched fat pad still bothering him. I don't know how long it's going to take to get him back in. I'm hearing a lot of people say he's not looking right and he's not going to be here till bowl season. That sucks, but whatever it takes to get this kid healthy, even if he doesn't stay out another year, I'm fine with it. As long as we get this kid to healthy and he can come back to the best of his ability, I'm fine with that. And it operated well without him. DJ Brown, Houston Griffith, although he didn't really touch the field, and Ramon Henderson played great. Great in his absence. They really made up for it. And the good thing about moving Ramon was you put him out there, he lines up like a corner, and then he drops back into his zone like a safety. So there was an element of just it wasn't there, and or there was just an element of surprise. And not only that, you're playing a freshman, a true freshman at that, at quarterback in Virginia. So it just made it that much easier, and it made it that much easier to disguise. Which Marcus Freeman is starting to get a little more creative. Like that one play he brought Bo Bauer. He was standing between the defensive end and defensive tackle. I think it was Adamiola and Heinisch. And then he went out. It looked like he was going to drop back into pass coverage. I think it was what? It was 4-3. One linebacker, either it was 4-3 or it was an extra corner on for a linebacker, nickel. And you had Bauer. You had Bo Bauer, who had a great night. 5 or 7 tackles, 1.5 sacks. He really got in the backfield. He was breaking up passes. I think he had like 2 or 3 pass deflections. They lined him up like he was going to blitz, brought him over like he was dropping back in the zone, and then he goes in between the other defensive tackle and defensive end. Got to the true freshman. Stuff like that. It's just that it's when you incorporate stuff like that as a new defensive coordinator in your first season, I'm confident in what you can do. And he made a lot work with what he was given. You're still down your 2 linebackers for the season. Xavier Watts moved to linebacker to cross-train from receiver. He's not really built as a linebacker, so they put him as a DB, as a safety, and he got some time. So you're still down a couple linebackers. And then he's also making it work with just defensive line in general. You've had a couple moving parts. You've had problems here and there. Heinisch had a lingering injury. Drew White was sick this week. Myron Tagovailoa-Amosa was sick this week. The flu's been jumping around the locker room. So he's been making it work with the guys he's had, and I'm proud of it. Because I didn't expect him to take this much of a leap in his first season with a roster that's on the down from last year. You lost Owusu Koromoa. You lost Sean Crawford. You lost Nick McLeod. You lost, or Okora was the year before. You lost all these guys and more. And then you just come in and go, well, with the parts we've got, we can just plug and play right now, and we'll kind of scheme a little bit better later in the season. That's what he's done. Reese has done it too, but I think part of it's because you're bringing in Cohen, who is kind of a disappointment. And at least at the beginning of the season, I used to say all the time that I got disappointed watching him because it was sad. And now he's kind of progressed, and he's trusted the O-line. Left tackle, you had Blake Fisher going on for the season, and I got worried because I was like, okay, I can start talking basketball, according to Papa Sora. I don't know if he's or I don't know how the technical issues are going, but I guess we'll get into the basketball. But yeah, he was in. I think he jumped it back in for a minute and then jumped back out. But I had to check and see if he's ended it. So I guess we'll jump over to some college basketball now. Notre Dame played some exhibitions here and there before the season, but now it's officially began. And I didn't know what to expect coming into a year where you lose your top rebounder, someone who usually would bring in double-doubles, and you lost one of your guards. You did bring back Prentice Hub at guard, and this team just decided to show up. And I am so happy because it wasn't what I expected. It really wasn't what I expected for Notre Dame. I thought we were going to have a down couple games, but apparently not. Because we walked into CSU, or we were playing CSU at home, and we showed up. And, I mean, you had Liszewski, I think is how you say it. I've butchered that name for over a year now. Liszewski was starting at forward. It's finally good to see him and Dane Goodwin together. Ryan was playing on the starting lineup. Hub was playing at starting lineup at guard. So you had a rotation of Goodwin, Ryan, and Hub as at the guard spots, and you had Atkinson and Lazuski. I'm glad to see Lazuski and Goodwin step up. Goodwin on 35 minutes was the best player in the starting lineup, dropping 18 points with 4 rebounds, and then Weasley, coming off the bench, had a good game. Wirtz had an okay game coming off the bench. He came in last year. He didn't play. I forget why, but now it's nice to see him playing, and I want to see improvement though, because this team looks sloppy coming into game 1. I mean, yes, it's game 1, but still it looks sloppy, and I mean, I'm hoping it can step up because there's a long schedule ahead. I mean, you've got. I just had it. I just had who we had next game, and I think that's tomorrow. But after them, you've got St. Mary's, and then after that, you've got number 11 Illinois. So, I mean, you're getting a couple decent teams, and then you're getting a ranked team in the next 3 games. So you better step up quick, because if not, it's going to take a while for this roster. I get it, but you've got to step up now. You really do. I mean, the season's just beginning for this basketball team, and I'm glad it is. It's High Point. That's who it is. High Point, St. Mary's, Illinois, next 3 games. You've got to step up. That next game is Tuesday. Why is there a week difference between our next game and our game after? I don't know. Apparently, we want weeks differences between every game. I don't know. But stepping into the next game, let's hope they show up next game, because, I mean, High Point's not the greatest, but they can be good when they want to be. I mean, they did just get beat by Northwestern, though. So it's going to be all about this roster stepping up, like I said. And I'm checking the roster again because I forget. There's somebody that they just recruited that I'm forgetting that's still that's on this roster. But who is it? That's who it is. It is guard. I still can't. Every once in a while on Notre Dame's teams, there's 1 or 2 guys I can never pronounce their name. I'm just gonna call him JR, the guard. JR, new freshman. He's someone that I'm hoping can get a little bit of production this year, but it's going to be interesting because if you're rolling with Hub, Wesley, and Wirtz as your 3 big-time guys, along with Ryan Cormac, or Cormac Ryan, then I don't know, because, well, 5 because a good one, but I don't know how they're going to fill the void of Moody. I don't. It's going to take a while with Lazuski, Atkinson, Zona. It's going to take a while with those guys, and I hated the thought of losing Moody because he was a double-double machine, and he is again. But, I mean, it sucks, dude. It really does. I hated losing him. Let me look at the full... Let me look at the full amount of guys with us, because I'm forgetting somebody. There's somebody I'm forgetting. Who is it? I don't know. I'm forgetting somebody. No, he wasn't even drafted. Moody wasn't even drafted, but let me try to find it. Also, Papa Sora is still not back. I am not sure if he will be back. But I'm hoping I can find this. I don't know. I love trying to find. I'm just going to pull up a 2021 roster. Whatever. I'm just gonna pull up the 2021 roster because this is being temperamental. No, that's this year's roster. It says 2020, 2021 Notre Dame roster. No, that's this year's. They still haven't updated it. Who am I missing? There's somebody I'm forgetting, and I'm gonna hate myself for it. No, that's this year. I don't know. I'm forgetting somebody. He had an internet problem and lagged out. I don't know if he's gonna be back, but I'm hoping he'll be back soon. And actually, I'll see now. All right, I'm gonna see if he can get back on or not. If he can't, I'll carry this on to the hour mark and then cut it off there. But if he can, I'll see if I can wait and kind of see how it's going with him. But hey, Slay, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet to admit that what AD said is right? Are you ready yet? Because I think it's time to admit that AD is right. Especially at that level that they're playing, you are not a championship team. Are you ready to admit it? Because I think a lot of Lakers, or at least some Lakers fans are. You are not winning a championship this year. I'm saying it now. Whether I regret it or not. I've still got a bet writing on this. I need them to lose this year to win that bet. Yes, but I still don't think you're going to win. I don't think you have enough. I don't think the injured... Really? Yeah, because Russell Westbrook's going to carry you, right? Westbrook and LeBron and AD. Let's see how long it takes Russell Westbrook to get another surgery. Because that every time. He always has to get a surgery at some point. He's had a few in the last couple of years. You're going to rely on him, AD, who had trouble last year being on the court, and LeBron, who had trouble being on the court. Here, let me look this up. Let me see if I can find Russell Westbrook's injury history. You're not going to win it, okay? You're not. There is no way. Yeah, he's had ankle. No, it's not his ankle. It's his quad that he's had problems with over recent history. Yeah, he's had quad problems. No, it's not about competing. It's about hitching your hopes on the backs of old guys that have trouble staying healthy at times. If AD or Russell Westbrook get hurt at the wrong time, it could cost you again. Because what was the big point last year? Was that your teams, or was that you guys had lost AD at the worst time? What's it going to be this year? That you lost Westbrook at the worst time, or LeBron or somebody? Because if so, I'm going to go, I was right. And it's just something that's constant. If you bring together an old team, they're bound to get hurt, especially if they've got a prior history. AD's got a history. LeBron's got a history. Westbrook's got a history. Rajon Rondo's got a history. A couple other... Carmelo's got a history. They've all got a history of having problems with injuries at times. Russell Westbrook has had problems with his quad over a season or two. It's going to continue to happen. It's not just going to go away. It's like Lane Johnson's ankle injury. His ankle has bothered him multiple times since 2016, where it's taken him out a couple times. Westbrook's going to be the same way with his quad. That stuff doesn't just go away. I mean, LeBron's going to need to be rested multiple times this year because he's getting up there. Father Time's been catching up to him a lot lately. But it is what it is. I just can't wait to see Boston play them mid-season and see what your roster looks like then. Yeah, I know, but I lost. Yes, I know, but we lost Papasora, and I just thought I'd note that your Lakers are going to be injured because we were on the topic of college basketball, and then you had to come in and mention the Lakers. Although I'm proud of you, you admitted you're a retirement home. That's the first step in the process is getting past denial. I'm joking, but I still have no idea if Papasora is going to be back. Thank you. That's what I've been saying. It's caught up with him. But yeah, I don't know if Papasora will be back. I haven't heard from him, and I guess I'll wait till an hour and 5. If I don't hear anything, I'll just cut it there. And it sucks, but Spectrum Internet sucks, and I can attest to that because I have it too. Also, I will also say sorry for the noise earlier in the podcast because like I was noting earlier about the noisy fan that I live with, yeah, the Rangers game's currently on, and that's why there's been loud noises from out there. But hey, he's back. Device is not connected, but he's back. Man, between me before the stream and him during the stream, it's just shown me how much more I hate Spectrum. For real. Slay, I figured you'd have it. You live in New York. There's like 2 carriers total in this area, and I mean, there's nobody else really to pick. But sorry if you can hear me. You have no devices connected. It says. I have no idea if I can bring. I have no idea what's going on. It won't let me bring you on, and yeah, I don't know. Oh, he's gone again. Oh, we were so close. Oh, but I may as well bring up the photo I have that we were referring to in the group chat for anyone who hasn't seen. So let me figure out. Actually, let me do this. I gotta figure out how to do this without nuking my computer, but I want to pull up the photo for anyone who has no idea what we were referring to earlier. If I can do that without leaking my Gmail. Yeah, I think I can do it. Nope. This is being temperamental. I'm having issues now. I don't know what it's transferred over to me again. But at least the stream's still going. At least it's still going. And I can't do anything either because I don't know. I want to try to. That's a good one. I want to try to figure it out if I can. I might have to just pull up the group chat and look at it there. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'll pull up the group chat. Because why not? I was gonna say I gotta find it though now. Thanks, Vic, for dropping the stream. And you clipped us at some point. Did you clip me talking about Michigan players? Don't tell me you did. There's a clip of me saying something, and I don't know what it is because I don't want to check it during stream. Well, I can, but I just haven't. Man, a lot of stuff happened in this chat today. Sometimes I realize that group chats, just stuff falls so quick from front to back. Hold on, I got it. There we go. All right, now I... Oh, you did, didn't you? And he's back. You finally got it working.
Let's hold off on that real quick. It literally says I don't even have internet access right now. Like, I don't even have any bars, so I don't know how long I'm on here for.
You're good. I can hear you. You're working fine.
Why the hell did I saw for a brief second this was about Lakers? What happened?
Slay came in, asked where you were, and then brought up the Lakers, which led me to talk about the Lakers and go completely off topic.
Slay, this is... Oh, I just punched my mic. This is about college. Anyway, have you talked about Notre Dame basketball?
Yeah, but I wanted to quickly reference the photo we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess now that we're here...
And there we go.
Wanted to what? What's happening here? Okay. You're probably about to lose
This
me.
is the
I can already see it.
This is the photo we're referring to. This is the photo we're referring to from the group chat. And wait, you didn't see it, or you did see it? Oh, nope, you're good. I was gonna say it looked like you were frozen for a second.
And did I just lose him again? Am I lost?
No,
Hello?
you're good. I can hear you. I can hear you. Your screen's just freezing a little bit, but I can hear you fine.
Spectrum sucks.
Yeah, I know. It's now you froze again, and you're
Jordy, did I lose you?
I can hear you just fine. Now you froze again.
Yep, I've lost him.
Nope, I can hear you. I can hear you. You're good.
Yep, I've lost him.
Nope, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm getting audio from you. Oh. I was gonna say I'm getting a spinning wheel. I don't know if that's just me, but I can hear you. I don't know if your internet just muted it or just destroyed itself, but I can hear you just fine. Also, now I want to see the clip that Vic put in of our stream because I'm kind of worried what he put in. Oh, you're back. Okay, I'm glad you're back. Your video is still gone, but I'm glad you're back. Vic. Yep, now I've lost his audio again. He's gone. The sad thing is, I know how he feels. I've had this happen to me too. But this is chaos. Yeah, I know. Are you going to be able to get back in and hold a steady internet connection? That's the question. Yeah, okay, now I'm worried. What did he drop? Oh no. Wait. What did you clip? Vic, what did you clip? I'm confused. Vic clipped that. I don't know. I didn't expect that to be clipped. I thought he clipped me just saying something positive about Michigan. Yeah, I know. His phone's fine, but his computer's nuked itself. He's probably on data though right now. That's probably the only way he's in here. I was gonna say at this point he may have to come back in on his phone because it's completely gone. You're lightning fast. Yeah. Let's see. He's back, but no device connected. What? This is chaos at its highest degree. I didn't realize that this would go like this. Or it's funny. Yeah, I figured. The sad thing is, I went through this before the podcast, which is why we came on a little while late. Because my computer nuked itself and it froze, and I had to completely restart the thing. But at least it wasn't Spectrum that bad. Now, there's a reason we joke that Spectrum is just some guy plugging and unplugging an Ethernet cable, because that's what Spectrum will do to you. And yeah, I don't know if we'll get him back, but yeah, unless the chat wants to talk about something else, I don't really have too many more topics. I mean, we could talk a little bit more about college football, but if we go into that, I'm probably going to end up discussing more of just a little bit here and there about some of the games and looking at where the rankings could go and everything. But I will say this, and if I can find it. Here it is. So, of week 11, there was 11 teams. Ironic, huh? There were 11 or 12 teams that had hope of making it into the college football playoff. We're now down to at least 10. I'd say 10. 9 or 10. Bama, Cincinnati, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Michigan State, Michigan, and maybe Oklahoma State, but they got to get through Oklahoma. That's the thing. So that'll take one team out. But ultimately, you're coming down to right now 9 or 10 teams that have a chance through week 12. It's going to be interesting to see how the rankings move too, because nobody can really move. So it's just going to be about, well, not very much. So you won't see anybody really make any jumps, but I'm hoping we can inch a little bit closer, because our chances every week are going to go down more and more until they hit 0. We are currently at 20%, and that'll change, but we need a ton of things to happen, and that's only for us to have a chance to make it in. So I don't know. We can hope, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying, Vic. He's got to use his phone to get in, because that would probably work. But I don't know. It all depends. I mean, the phone, as long as you can run it on the phone, it'll be fine. Because I think I'm the only person who never really calls in on phones, though. But I don't know. Try it and see if it works. Because that's what I was thinking, too. Because if you can get in on your phone, you're golden for a while. Because you still got some basketball to talk. Is that what you were trying to get in on before? Is that what it came up with you have nothing connected? Did you allow it to use your mic and cam, is the thing. If you did, then I have no idea what's going on. Hold on. Let me check something. I can screw around on my phone. There is a StreamYard app. You could get that. But yeah, you might have to get the app to do it. Oh, you're here. I've got you. You're alive. Can you hear me?
All right. Well, hello.
Hello. I can hear you.
Like that. Probably not.
You're good. I can hear you.
Like that Harambe chocolate meme. I have very limited time. Really
Okay.
turn on right now.
Huh?
because I cannot hear Jordy, but that is because of my headphones, I believe. All right. Hello.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. All right. Again, this is like the chocolate Harambe meme. Listen, kid, I don't have that much time. All right. Where are we at now?
We were in basketball.
Okay, right. Basketball. Let me tell you, Florida basketball 2-0. We're looking good. As much as I hate Mike White, still do. Hell of a recruiter, though. Got a brand. I don't remember his name. Got to look it up. Got a brand new assistant coach, though. That is that's really not turned it around, but I think could really help out Mike White. So unranked Florida played number 20 Florida State, and we have not beaten Florida State since 2013. So they had a 7-game streak on us because there was one year we didn't play them, but ever since 2013, we did not beat them. We beat them 71-55. We went on a streak. It was close at halftime because it was 30-28 at halftime, and then Florida just pulled their weight, scored 43 in the second half. Because college basketball is a little bit weird. There's only two quarters. So a couple of the stats. Colton Castleton. Let me tell you, this man is so freaking good. He's a forward, and he had 15 points, which, you know, a lot of the highest scorer, there were two guys with 15 points. But this man is a forward. The man plays like a center. When I first saw him, I thought he was a center. He's 6'10". He's 6'10", and he gets so many rebounds. And he'll just, like, to me, I don't want to say he's the white version of Embiid, but he could be pretty close because you watch that Florida game, and it's just everybody, you know, they're like, oh, you know, 6'4", 6'6". They make it looks like he's playing a bunch of Boston Scots. He's a giant among men. He's just gigantic, and he gets so many. How many rebounds did he have? Let me see. He had 16 rebounds. 16 rebounds. And you're telling me that's just a forward? That sounds like a center to me. I mean, 16 rebounds. Besides Andre Drummond a couple of days ago, I have not seen one guy have that many rebounds.
Yeah, you got to have a big game to pull in 16.
I mean, that man is just he's really good. So to look at the stats, Anthony, I hope I'm saying this right. Anthony Durgee, 7 rebounds, 15 points. Colin Castleton, as we know, 16 rebounds, 15 points, 1 assist. Myron Jones, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 12 points. Tyree Appleby, the story behind this kid is he last year against no, was this the guy? No. This isn't. Hold up. Let me.
Are you mistaking him for a different Appleby or something?
I thought so, yeah. Maybe not. Or maybe it was Appleby, but it's not showing it. Let me look. Either way, he played 30 minutes. He had 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 points. It was kind of math for him, but I mean, but still win. Hold on. Who was the Florida? Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, it was not. I don't know why I thought it was Appleby. Keontae Johnson. I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but last year, dude just randomly collapsed on the court, and he's fighting to get back. Ironically, it was against Florida State, but It was nothing related. It wasn't cancer or anything. It's just he collapsed, and he basically started off with after it saying, "I could have died." So he's currently right now trying to fight to get back onto this team, which you gotta appreciate that. I mean, you gotta appreciate that from the player. Which, I mean, props to him. But if he needs to take another year, take another year, my guy. Because I'm not gonna say we're gonna win the chip this year, but I mean, if you got to take another year, man, take another year. Because that's his life right now that was at risk.
Yeah, if he's got to take another year, he better, even if it's half a year, just take that time off because it's not something to play around with.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It was a heart inflation. Or, sorry, not inflation, inflammation.
Yeah, because you want to make that.
Yeah, so that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make sure that's good before you can really go in and do anything.
What's up, Fizzle?
What's up, Jay Fizz? How you doing?
But yeah. So, did you happen to say what Notre Dame's record is?
Yeah, we're 1-0. Just beat. I forgot who it was again. But it's somebody we usually don't play super much, and the team had a good game, losing a couple big-time guys like Moody, who was the big rebounder.
Yeah.
Pulled in a lot of double-doubles, so it's nice to see the team stepping up with the guys that are leaving. And, yeah, there's a couple freshmen coming in that I'm excited about.
Yeah. Definite. I mean, Florida's 2-0, so this has definitely been a good start. And the teams looked better, and quite personally, the cherry on top for me is even though it's a tie, Georgia's in last place, and it just makes me feel happy. I'm just happy.
Yeah, I would feel good if I were Florida fans too for that, because at least you can be better than Georgia at one sport.
I mean, the announcers were even saying like, let's look at the score for this game, and then let's look at the score for the football game, and it's like they were like there were a lot of like slumped over Gator fans walking around Gainesville this morning. But now they're happy because we broke the 7 games. We've snapped the 7-game streak, and it's just a long time coming. It's only 2 games, so I can't really tell how far this team's going to go, but I've been on the Fire Mike White train for a while because we'll always make the dance. We'll always make the dance. We'll always make the SEC championship. But it's just you can never
get too far.
I don't think we even get to the Sweet 16. I think we get to the I don't remember what they call it, but we get to like the top 32 or whatever, and it's like, all right.
Where were you guys last year?
The top 32. It was Oral Roberts, the team that was sweeping everybody, causing upsets for everyone. We lost to Oral Roberts.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Which I'm not going to feel too bad because Oral Roberts was destroying other teams. They were breaking... I don't even remember who they beat.
At least you didn't walk into a buzzsaw like Gonzaga or somebody, though.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we've beaten Gonzaga before with Mike White, but like I said, with the playoffs, it's just he's a completely different person.
Yeah. And Gonzaga had one player that had such a funny mustache, though. Like he had a mustache.
There was one dude. I can't tell if he was on the. I really don't know who it was. I can't tell if he was on the bench or if he was in the audience, but he had his hair looking like a reindeer. Like he had the
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what to describe it, but it's like he had the little twisty, I guess, nappy braids. I don't know, and it's just it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck are you?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I thought Dwight Howard's hairstyle was back because it looked like a blooming onion, but this is just like this is new. This is new to me."
For college basketball, there should be a new thing: playoff mustaches because they can't grow beards.
Yeah.
Some of them do that, though. I mean, I think the guy on Gonzaga was doing that because he had, like, It looked like a creeper mustache, but still. I was like, that's something out of somebody's nightmares, dude.
Right? That's the shit I see in my dreams.
But yeah, do we have any other things you want to go over? Any notes?
Uh, no, not really. It's gonna be We'll say there will not be a Holy Gator next week because I will be flying over for flying back to Georgia for a wedding during that week. So unless we get it earlier in the week, unless we get it sometime before Friday, but
Yeah,
more
so
than likely probably won't be one next week.
probably won't be in one next week, but you never know. And even if we
Yeah.
don't, we'll come back the week after. It'll
Yeah.
be week 14 in college football. It'll be the week before conference championships, so
Yeah,
it'll
it'll
be
be
that
like the
fun.
last game.
Yeah. But
And
anyways,
then pretty much, yeah, it'll start getting into basketball, baseball, all that stuff.
I think that's
Well,
it
and bowl
from
games.
yeah. I think that's it from both of us. Next time we may be live from not only my channel but Papasaurus channel. We'll try. I guess we'll try to figure that out by next time. And from both of us, see you later.